In this video, we'll scrape all the pages of the Audible website. Let's scroll all the way down and go to the pagination bar. So it's here, and now I'm gonna inspect it. Right click and then click on inspect. The developer tool is gonna open, and then we'll see the LI element that represents one page. So as we can see, each page is represented by an LI element. Let's scroll up to find an element that contains all these pages. And here I found this UL tag that has an attribute named paging elements. So we can use this word to locate the pagination bar using the contains function. And then using this context, we can locate the next page button. Now I copy this class name and go back to PyCharm. Here I'm going to create a new variable named pagination equal to response.xpath and parentheses. I open quotes and we're going to build an XPath to locate this element. Now I'm going to copy the syntax we used before because we're going to use the same syntax that included the contains function. Now I paste it inside parentheses and I'm going to delete the tag name, the attribute name, and the attribute value. And also we delete the child elements, so we only have the bones of the XPath. So this element has a UL tag and paging elements inside the value. So I'm going to write UL here and add class and here paging elements. So I'm going to copy these paging elements and then now in PyCharm I'm going to paste it inside quotes. Now I copy this XPath and I'll test it in developer tools. So I press Ctrl F and paste it. So as you can see, the pagination bar was matched. So we successfully built this XPath. Now I'm going to inspect the next page button. So I click on inspect and then click on the next page button. Now I'm going to scroll up until I find a useful word to locate this element. So I keep scrolling and here I found next button inside a class. So this can be useful to build the XPath if we use again the contains function. Now back to PyCharm and I'm going to duplicate this line of code. And here I'm going to change the name. So I write next underscore page underscore URL. And I'll use the pagination context for this XPath. So instead of response, I write pagination. And inside the XPath, we have to add the that sign. So now we have to add the span tag. So I write span instead of UL. And now let's see the attribute name. So the attribute is a class and the value is next button. So I paste it here. Now remember that what we actually want to get is the href, because remember that unlike Selenium on Scrapy, we cannot click on a button, but we can get the href to be redirected to a new page. And here we find the href inside the a tag. This href has the link of the next page. So the sequence will be locating the next button, then the a child element, and then the href. And now I go back to PyCharm to write this sequence. So I write /a/add href. And I add that get with parentheses to get this attribute. Now to go to the next page, I'm going to write a condition. So I write if next page URL colon, and then I'm going to yield a response so we can go to a different link. So we write response.follow with parentheses. And inside parentheses, the first argument is going to be URL. And this is going to be equal to next page URL. So this next page URL is going to be this href we extracted before. And the second argument is going to be callback. And this is equal to self.parse. So this condition we wrote means if there is a next page or if the next page exists, go to the next page. But if there isn't a next page, then stop the scraping process. This is way easier than the while loop we use on Selenium. Now to extract data, open up a terminal and write the following command. Scrapy crawl audible-o and then the name of the CSV file you want to create. So in this case, it's going to be named audible_multiple page.csv. Now I press enter and this might take some minutes since I'm scraping the 60 pages. When this finishes, we're going to compare Selenium's speed with Scrapy's. Now this is finished, and the time it took Scrapy to scrape the 60 pages was 98 seconds. When we scraped the same website with Selenium, it took Selenium 45 seconds to scrape only 5 pages. So we can say that Scrapy is way faster than Selenium. This is one of the reasons why Scrapy is preferred over Selenium. Now let's go to PyCharm to see the CSV file we created. So I open the file audible_multiple-page.csv. And here apparently all the data was successfully scraped. Now I'm going to scroll all the way down to check the last audiobook to verify if it was scraped correctly. So this audiobook is named The Easy Way to Control Alcohol, and then I go to the browser and go to the last page and scroll down until I find the last audiobook, and the audiobook is named The Easy Way to Control Alcohol. So it seems that even the last audiobook was successfully scraped. So this is a good sign that the 60 pages were scraped. And that's it. Now you know how to handle pagination with Scrapy.